Hi everyone, welcome to lesson 3.6 of Unit 3 where we're going to talk about symmetry today. We're going to talk about both line symmetry and rotational symmetry. First of all, we want to talk about our lines of symmetry. Line symmetry just means that it has reflectional symmetry. It can be folded over a line so that one half maps onto the other. It lays exactly on itself. Look at this figure here. If I were to fold it over this line, this part of the figure would fold directly over the line and land directly here. Nothing would be hanging out. And the same along this line. I could fold the figure either way and it would land directly. There would be no pieces hanging out. You can kind of fold it in half. With this figure here, this is the only line I can fold it over. I can fold it over this line and G would land on F and H would land on E and there would be nothing hanging out. There's no other way to fold it. So now it says find all the lines and their equations across which the figures map to themselves, below map to themselves. Well, this one is a vertical line, and we should remember from last unit that always means x equals a number. So if this is my origin, this is 1, so this is going to be x equals 1. I go x equals 1, this point's x equals 1, x equals 1. Our horizontal line is going to be a y equals a number. Again, 1, 2, y equals 2. Over here, I'm looking at this is my origin. So I go down 1, 2, it's a horizontal line. That's the equation of the line that it maps itself over to. Okay. So now here we're looking at find all the lines across which the figures map onto themselves. So I've drawn in the lines already for the first and second figure. Our first figure is a square. I want to show you a common error. If I start counting my lines, 1, 2, 3, 4. When I get back here, this is back to number 1 again. So this square only has 4 lines of symmetry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided figure. I got a pentagon here. Let me count the lines of symmetry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When I get to here, I'm back to 1. So this one, when you get back to 1, it doesn't count. This one over here, the pentagon, and it is a regular pentagon. We'll talk about that in a minute. Regular down here. All sides are equal, so it has 5 lines of symmetry. Or rather, 5 lines of fold where it lands directly on itself. Now let's take a look at this one. I got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-sided figure. I'm going to draw this one in. I know I can go vertex to vertex. If I can go vertex to vertex there, I can go vertex to vertex here. And I can go vertex to vertex here. But let's think about it. What about the sides on this one? If I cut this side in half and I go through the center and that side, would it fold directly onto itself? Let's draw one in and see if we can visualize that. So this would fold to here, this would fold to there, and this would fold to here. So the sides would work as well. So I'm going side across the side, and my sides across the sides. So then when I count this one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'm back to 1. That's my stopping point. So I have 6 lines of symmetry. Okay, now I want you to think about something. Let's do a thinker. I want you to think about a circle. I certainly can't draw one perfectly, but if that was a perfect circle, how many lines of symmetry? Think about that. If you think there are infinite lines of symmetry, you are correct. Okay, now we're going to switch it over to rotational symmetry. Rotational symmetry is when a figure, again, maps onto itself, so there's no pieces hanging out, when it's rotated about its center and also less than 360 degrees. Everything has 360 degrees, so we don't count the 360 degree rotational symmetry. So now locate the point that these figures will be rotated about to map onto themselves. Well, we drew in our lines of symmetry on this one last time, and this is at point 1, 2. But I want you to think about it. If I started at this point, I couldn't rotate to just here to map to itself. I'd have to rotate all the way to here. Okay? And then I'd have to go from there back to there. So when I think about this, I've got two lines of symmetry. And I have to think about that. Okay, so when I take my 360 degrees and I divide it by 2, that gives me 180 degrees of rotational symmetry. Now this one I've only got one line of symmetry. And I think if I pick G and I start rotating, that's not going to map to itself. I'd have to go all the way around. And since this one only has 360 degrees, we say that it has no rotational symmetry. Let's look at a few more examples. So we never count the 360 degrees. So we're going to find the number of rotational symmetries that each figure below has. We're going to give the degree of rotation for each symmetry. So in other words, how many degrees you rotate to land exactly on itself. So when I look at this one, the triangle, if I start here and I rotate around my center point, a little X there on the center point, and I get to here, I would map to itself. I get to here, map to itself. Then we get to here to map to itself. By the way, this figure does have like a vertice to opposite side, vertice to opposite side, and vertice to opposite side. I've got 3 lines of symmetry, and it takes me 3 turns to get back to itself, so I'm going to divide by 3. So every 120 degrees, I have rotational symmetry. So I have rotational symmetry at 120 degrees and at 240 degrees. Now, if I add another 120, I'm at 360, so I'm not going to count that. Then when I take a look at the figure here, the square, I pick a point like A, and I'm going to rotate about the center of the figure. It would take me 1, 2, 3, 4 turns to get back, and every turn I stop where I have rotational symmetry. Okay, so that gives me 90 degrees for each turn. So I have rotational symmetry at 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. Then when we look at our pentagon, I'm going to pick a point. Here's my center. And if I start turning it about the center, I get rotational symmetry here. And I can keep turning, I'll get it again here, 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 and here. And if that's hard for you to see, what I think you should do is get another piece of paper, trace the pentagon and cut it out, lay it directly on top, and start turning it, and you'll see where it gets. So where it lands directly on itself, where it gets the rotational symmetry. So that took me 5 turns. 360 divided by the 5 is 72 degrees for each turn, so I have rotational symmetry at every count of 72 degrees. So I just keep adding 72 degrees each time. I get to 288. If I add a 72 again, I'm at 360. Okay, let's talk about our regular polygon. Regular is very important. Rotational symmetry, because there's just a little formula to help figure that. So you divide 360 by the number of sides. We've seen that in these past examples. And then every multiple of, not multiplied by, but multiple of this value is a rotational symmetry for the polygon. And regular polygons have one less rotational symmetry than the number of sides. And again, we're only talking about regular polygons. Regular polygons have all congruent sides and all congruent angles. So for example, we have an equilateral triangle. I'm going to make that equilateral. I got 3 congruent sides and I got 3 congruent angles. There's 180 degrees in a triangle divided by 3. That's 60 degrees for each angle. So since there's 3 sides, there are 2 degrees of rotational symmetry, and it is going to be at 60 degrees and 120 degrees. Now, I know that the next one would be 180, but we would be back to start at that point. So you don't count it, you don't count the place where you started. In a square, I have 4 congruent sides, 4 congruent angles. So I take the 360 degrees that's in any quadrilateral, every quadrilateral has 360 degrees, divide by 4, and I get 90 degrees each. So since there's 4 sides, the 3 degrees of rotational symmetry are, I start at the 90 degrees, then I have 180 degrees, and then I have 270 degrees. All right, last thing. I want you to try. I want you to list the rotations for each of the regular, we're going to call these regular polygons, so all the sides are congruent, all the angles are congruent. And I want you to list how many lines of symmetry there are. So go ahead and pause the video. Fill in all your rotational symmetries, your lines of symmetries. You can come back and check your work. These should be what you've gotten for the hexagon. 360 divided by 6 makes a nice even number for all your degrees. We don't count the 360. The heptagon, we divide by 7, so these are approximate. And the octagon, we're dividing by 8. All right, guys, that's it for rotational and line symmetry. Hope you're having a good day, and I'll see you in the next lesson.